Unfortunately, as I speak to you today, we are entering the winter months here in the Northern Hemisphere, and we've already seen indications and we've had messages from the World Health Organization, the National Institute of Health, the CDC, and reports of emergency rooms being overwhelmed with children who are getting RSV, known as respiratory syncytial virus. And what we really are seeing, and what the message that we are getting is that the world is being exposed to a triple viral epidemic. Last year we had the pandemic, which was COVID, and as a result of that, many people used masks appropriately, stayed out of contact appropriately, but especially children, but adults as well, didn't develop the normal immunity towards winter viral infections that one normally would. As a result of that, we are now facing the threat of a triple viral epidemic: influenza, COVID, and RSV, and in addition to that, the virus that causes a common cold. So we are really living in a very vulnerable environment where being exposed just in our normal daily activities is threatening us with getting viral infections that can be mild, can be severe, can be debilitating, and in some people who already have immune-compromised states can lead to death. Last year, when COVID came about, in conjunction with 3 top professors at Tel Aviv University, head of biochemistry, organic chemistry, virology, and new therapeutics, a natural formulation was developed. This is a bottle of defense, which is a totally natural, GRAS-approved, which stands for Generally Recognized as Safe in the United States, dietary supplement. In other words, defense is a natural product that can be utilized without any fear of any adverse events. These professors in Israel developed this product by taking zinc, which we know has antiviral properties, and creating a form of super zinc. How and why do I say that? So the standard form of zinc is antiviral, but unfortunately, you could take a whole bottle of zinc piconolate. It will not reach the level in your bloodstream where it can exert its effect to the extent that it gets rid of the virus or protects you. Defense is a combination of zinc that has been combined with plant substances to effectively allow the zinc to reach a much higher therapeutic level, where the zinc level in the blood is now capable of preventing all the different viral infections that I've mentioned, the so-called mRNA cold weather viruses, from entering into the lung cells. Scientific studies which have been published and peer-reviewed have shown that this formulation defense stops the virus from entering the cell, and furthermore, once the virus is in the cell, it stops the virus from replicating, multiplying, and reproducing. So by using this formulation defense, you have the capabilities of prevention, protecting oneself against all these different viral infections by taking it in a preventative, prophylactic fashion. You can stop the virus from being allowed to enter into your cells by taking defense in situations where you're exposed, such as an airplane, a convention, a wedding, and so on. If you have a susceptibility, it allows you to take it to prevent this from happening, the virus from entering your system and multiplying. And if in fact you are already having symptoms because you are infected with these viral conditions, the actual formulation of defense will stop the virus from replicating, which means it will reduce the symptoms and reduce the chance of the virus making you worse with your illness. So having said all that, I believe that defense should be something that's available in everybody's household, no different to having aspirin or acetaminophen or a Band-Aid. It can be used as preventative when you're in a situation where you know you're going to be exposed to a lot of people in a closed, confined space. And it can also be used when you start noticing symptoms such as flu-ish-like symptoms. You know that this is what is happening. Most of us know when we're coming down with a cold or the flu, and in many cases when we got COVID, myself included. Taking defense immediately is going to help prevent this from getting worse and is going to reduce the course of the illness. What I'm saying is, waiting until you get sick to order your supply of defense is like closing the stable door after the horse has bolted. In other words, you don't want to wait, because by the time it comes to you and you take the actual product, you will already have had probably 4 or 5 days minimum that your symptoms have been with you. So my recommendation is that everybody acquires a bottle of defense, keeps it in their house, and takes it for preventative reasons as well as to treat the onset of symptoms. Now, I know everybody is going to say, well, we don't necessarily want to basically purchase the bottle and it's not necessary. Whether I agree or disagree, we've kind of tried to accommodate that thought process, and we've created a blister pack. This blister pack only contains 8 capsules. And in the very worst case scenario, it can be used when you're traveling or in a highly infectious environment. And that's the end of it. You've taken your blister pack. If you don't have a bottle at home, using the blister pack as your symptoms begin gives you the opportunity in a short period of time to get the bottle, but at least to have the defense available at your home to take it as soon as symptoms occur. So what I'm recommending is that at the very least everybody has a blister pack or 2 available, and at best we have a bottle available. And I think if we do that, we're going to reduce the likelihood of getting viral infections this winter. We've had many cases where people have been exposed to someone with COVID or influenza, and we've given them defense and they have not gotten ill. We've also had cases where family members in the house have developed this illness, and similarly, the other members, when they took defense, were safe. So I believe that with my experience, with my patient population, with the testimonials we've received from different individuals who've taken defense, this is a very, very valuable product. It's safe, it's natural, and I believe very cost effective when you think of the alternative costs that medications, emergency room visits, and so on, days lost at work, add up to. Please go online, read about defense, read about the studies that were published to support the value of defense, and it would be, for me, my hope that by doing this message, I'm bringing to you an element of safety and protection, and ultimately, hopefully preventing illness in anybody who's exposed to winter viruses, especially the way it looks in this coming season.